This is
last year's
usually,
budget.
usually he gives us a book.
And I will give you a 3-ring binder with everything in it, but
Well, I thought this was quite fancy.
Yeah, that's nice.
that's from the police chief, his budget.
Yeah, I thought it was quite fancy.
Some of the other department heads have, I've included their
But the
budget
cost-
explanations within the packet.
Okay, but if it costs a lot, don't do it again.
Anyways, roll call,
Cost
everyone's
too
here.
much.
Join me in pledge allegiance, please.
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Keith, we'll let you lead us off, or Jan, one or the other.
Yeah, if you can tell, these are still quite well. We've been working with the documents up until about 10 minutes ago, trying to get them in some sort of presentation for you this evening. What I've tried to do here is to provide to you on the cover sheet the essence of what each one is. And I'll go through each one of them and give you a dollar amount that right now we're projecting within that budget frame. And my thought upon this would be to provide this information to you. I have my calendar here to begin to establish some dates that you all can meet, and you can sort of factor down the ones that you wish to begin to tackle initially. And then after that point, once we get further on in the process, we'll also provide you a draft warrant. Within the warrant, whatever additional warrant articles you seem appropriate to discuss, we'll go ahead and begin those discussions. So,
Excuse me for a second, is everyone warm enough, or would you like it a little warmer?
I'm fine.
Everyone else okay? Okay.
Thank you.
the first, as you look at this document, the first several pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The first 8 pages are all computer-generated pages, and what they are, these first 8 pages that you'll be reviewing, are the anticipated revenue portion of the budget process. I would quickly have you go to, I'll go through these, but quickly, if you went to the last page.
They're not listed in
No,
order.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 again. And 3.
You should have page 1, page 2 that ends with the SAFER grant revenue.
Yep.
You should have.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 twice.
You should have page 3 that has interest on tax liens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Page 4,
You should have page 4 that ends with water and electric schools.
water and electric
Yeah.
schools.
Yeah.
I get state revenue sharing.
And then there should be a new page 1 that says state revenue sharing at the end.
Yeah. Oh,
You haven't missed much, because the first 4 pages really don't have a lot germane
I
to our
got water and electric.
budget process. The next page should end with a FEMA grant.
Yep.
Should be called page 2 again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Page 3 should end with a gain on sale of tap.
Yep.
And finally, page 4 should be about a quarter of a page and should end with a total.
Would you like to move up here so you get a better view?
Then we're on 1 again.
That's what we're gonna work with right now.
Yeah, I would say we're gonna work with the last 4 pages, which are the ones that would be page one of, number 4, which we'll talk about. It would start with, homestead reimbursements at the bottom for $100,000.
Don't give me any.
Homestead
Homestead reimbursement, $100,000.
on page 4?
Page 1 of 5.
I'm into memos and things now. Planning assessment.
You've gone too far.
Well, I don't have page 5.
Four pieces, 5 pieces.
Oh.
One of those first ones he told us to take out.
It's actually listed as page 1, it's the
Okay,
second
back.
page 1.
Right there. Homestead reimbursement.
Oh, okay, a page 1, I thought you said page 5.
Okay, well, you had 8 pages.
No, I got page, I got 2.
You had 8 pages, the first section.
I just did it. You didn't number pages. You numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
They're off the computer. You all set?
I think you just did it to confuse us. That's all right.
There's like 2 pages
There
much.
you go.
That's the
Right
second
there.
of that.
Didn't take much to confuse us, I guess.
There you go. Those are it.
Happy New Year.
Jan's testing us, that's all.
All right. Are we all set now?
I guess we're all there.
All right, let's just focus on these.
And you're beginning with what now?
We're beginning at the bottom of,
Yeah.
fourth page, but it says page 1.
State revenue sharing?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
homestead
now,
reimbursement.
you have homestead reimbursement, excise tax, and, state revenue sharing.
Yep.
These next 4 pages are, if you looked at your, if you brought your town report with you, or any of those things, you will see that under revenue, we'll have a list of things that we anticipate for revenue. And at the end of it, if you look at last year's budget, it would give you a total of $1,660,535. This year, we're anticipating, presently, $1,734,187.
$1,734,000.
187.
Well, have you taken into account that may go on in Augusta?
I've used the documentation that's presently available to me, and the information that's provided to me by the state.
Yeah, because it hasn't passed, but according to MMA, they're very concerned that they wanna cut another 84 million off of revenue sharing.
Yeah, if you look at this, the state revenue sharing here, you'll see that our anticipated increase is 6.82% up, from 460,335 to 491,737. And that number came right off the state website for revenue sharing and the anticipated revenue sharing for the town of Berwick at this time.
Does that include what their cut?
They haven't cut anything
No, I
yet.
know they haven't cut it, but does it include what the governor wanted it? I don't know, because I saw our representative, and I said to her, I said, don't you dare vote for that. And when they get it up, I'd like to go up for the hearing and testify against a cut like that. In fact, I'm gonna keep my eye on it, see if I can find out what it is.
I'm uncertain what that cut will be, or if it will affect us. So as we continue through this budget process, if there are changes that need to be required for anticipated revenue sharing, or our revenue in general, I will make those, and I will notify you of them when we make them.
The figure you just gave us a couple moments ago, is that on here, or do you have to add?
It's on the last
No,
page,
it's the last
4,
page.
the quarter page.
Oh, okay, on the last page, very good. All right,
Okay?
Yep.
So right now, we're anticipating, based on the analysis that we've done, about $73,652 more of revenue than we did the previous year. Work in progress, again, that could change. And stop me at any time if my thought tonight was just to go through the quick numbers to give you an idea where we are. And then after that, you guys can establish a date certain where you can have the department heads here, and you tell me what dates you would like, what department heads you would like at that time, and then we can fine tune and get them here so they can answer any and all questions that you may have. The next page that you'll have will have the bottom number will be $183,420. That relates to general expense account.
So we're all done with projected revenues.
At this point, unless there are some specific questions, again, we try to make some projections here, Selectman Murphy, as to where we think we're going
Yeah,
to
but I
go.
was still on those pages, I didn't realize that we were
Okay,
moving on.
we're on to general expense. And I have a bottom number of $183,420. That is slightly lower than the previous year, which was $183,455. This includes our workers' comp, audit services, legal fees. I have to point out that, the sheet that you have tonight doesn't show actual expenditures, and I apologize for that. We were rushed at the end to try to get you these numbers, but,
I think Jamie gave us the legal thing,
yep, you may have your monthly information. If you look under, general expenses, particularly under, legal fees, at this point, we're already $18,182.52 over what we anticipated in the budget. So we've spent almost a little over $28,000. So we'll have to keep that in mind as we go through this process and figure out what you would like to do in terms of anticipated revenue for the coming year.
What is actually the UC insurance?
Unemployment compensation.
Why would that have gone down?
Because we haven't used it as much, it's based on how much you use it, the rate is adjusted according to how you use it.
So we haven't laid anybody off. So they haven't, had to draw. So you save money.
Okay, are we all set with that one? The next, and I apologize for this, the next couple pages,
What is Mission?
that's one of our employees.
Oh.
You'll come across a bunch of these that will look like spreadsheets, and what they are is they'll identify the employee, and then they'll identify the rate of pay, and then wages, FICA, Medicare, insurance, whatever retirement package that we may have for that employee, and longevity, and a total. So you'll have, that will be part of the overall piece that you'll be looking at.
Did you move past the 4 pages?
But that's not a full year for her.
No, that's, you may,
And now they just clicked who it was.
excuse me, Jim?
I don't have it in those 4 pages, we beyond the 4 pages,
Yes.
obviously? Okay,
It's this one here,
so we're beyond the 4 pages.
down on the back, on the very bottom one.
Okay, we're beyond the 4.
And Selectman Murphy brings up a good point. As you will look under assessing wages, and then when we get to the planning piece, under planning wages, you'll see that Joan's compensation is split between both departments. And that was done years before I got here.
I
It was
remember
split,
we did that.
it was split half between planning and half between assessing.
I remember the admin I had on that, that's why I wanted it, because she was working, when at that time was working.
In this one, forgive me, part of this process does not have the front cover of this one, and it's in your packet, but we will, again, just, we were rushed a little bit to get that here, and we'll find it here, and I'll point it out and provide it as part of this package. But the total assessor's budget, is $93,214, which is, $7,322 less than the previous year.
In that budget, does that include the time the lawyer spends in for the planning, or is that other money just for, the lawyer for all the time? No matter where, no matter which department he's, in?
Occasionally, through the planning office, there'll be some technical assistance, and there may be some legal services that would be attached to that, but primarily, all your legal fees come out of your legal budget.
Because when we were doing the iron thing down, iron work down there, he was here that night, that day, well, I met him a couple of nights, but he was here one night for a long time.
Yes. The thing I need to point out here is that, you know, you see a drop in this budget, and primarily one of the things that we have here is that our contract for some of our employees provides a buyout provision within it, where we pay $750 per half a year, per every 6 months. $750 total, no, $1,500 total, twice a year, I'm sorry. $750 every 6 months for an individual who does not take our insurance. And in this particular case, under assessing and planning, you'll see that the employee is not meeting the insurance, so we've adjusted accordingly. Next budget that you will come to will be.
You said 93,214?
Yes.
Where was that?
It's in your packet, and because I was rushed, it's in here somewhere. When I come across it, I will
Yep.
recognize it and pull it out for you,
All right.
okay?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, the next set of sheets that you'll be looking at, we'll start with selectmen compensation at the top of it. There will be a computer-generated sheet. You're already beyond it, I think, Mr. Craig.
I got it.
Okay. And there should be 2 computer-generated sheets. You got them all, those are the 2 right there. And what they are is the amounts that we're anticipating for the administration budget, which includes the selectmen's compensation, full-time wages for finance office, the customer service office, the town clerk's office, the manager's office, are all incorporated within this budget. Right now, the anticipated expenditure on this total is $511,884. Last year, it was $508,851. It increased from just over $3,000 in this budget.
Will we have a breakdown of where the increases are?
Yes. These computer-generated sheets that we have for you tonight, we're gonna redo them, and when you meet again, they will have a sheet, what was budgeted, what's actually been spent, and what is being requested at this particular point.
And what the increase is for?
Yeah, we can provide that to you.
Yeah.
Okay, and then after you get by the computer-generated sheet, you will come across a wage administration sheet that looks like this, which has a complete breakdown of all the employees that are compensated within this budget package. And behind that will be a budget note.
Well, just a minute here. This page 2, the balance, so here doesn't match here. One is, the last year it was $508,851. Here it's $467,684. And for this year it's $511,884. Why is that a difference?
The only thing you're having on this one, Selectman Murphy, are your compensation packages. It doesn't include your travel and training, your printing, your lien, and deed recording.
It does travel, it's got travel on it.
Doesn't include, if you look at your budget sheet, after you get beyond, down on printing, you'll have printing, leads and deed recording,
Okay, yeah,
supplies,
yeah.
equipment.
Okay, I understand, okay, I
Okay,
see that.
all set?
Yeah.
Okay. Beyond that, you have explanation sheet for administration, which gives you a little bit of a, understanding of what those accounts are used for.
Budget notes you're talking about?
Yep. The next one we come to would be, town hall budget. And it will end with a dollar amount on the far right side of $128,600 compared to last year's budget of $123,600.
What's the anticipate for, to increase that 5,000?
Well, if you take a look at the sheet, you will see under equipment maintenance, you'll see a 9.62
Yeah.
increase there. And you'll also,
Now, on that equipment maintenance, are those contracts?
for equipment maintenance, yes. Yeah, if you look at your budget notes under town hall, it will be page 3. It will have your equipment maintenance, it will have your voting machines, your Trio software, the chair lift, the maintenance and inspection of it, the air conditioning, the munis support maintenance system.
So when we get home, we can really go through these and
Sure.
compare them.
Yeah, and if you have any specific questions and there's something you don't understand, if you'd like to know before the next meeting, please feel free to give us a call.
Well, you know me, I probably will, no problem, you know.
Have we found out what the voting machine is going to actually be? I mean, we still,
No, we do not know. In your capital improvement budget, if you look at your normal spreadsheet that we normally give you, there'll be money set aside for that. We've been postponing purchasing that voting machine until such time that the state informs us what kind of machines and what products they're gonna go with.
But the sad part about that is, we're having to rent one, so we're spending money to do that, when if we could buy, so they make up their mind we could buy one, that would save us money, really.
Yes, it would.
I mean,
Well,
you
it
know.
might not, and the reason it might not is because if we buy a machine compatible with what we have, and the state changes its
Well, no,
mind.
that's not what, I'm doing, I understand that. What I'm saying is, the state should make up their mind, because they're costing us money, and there's no reason for them not to make a decision up there.
Well, then you better speak to the governor.
Well, I just might, when I see.
Good.
It's bothering me a bit, Steve.
Thank you both for that input. Even though I did not understand it.
The next two sheets you come across, I believe, are the assessing sheets. And if you take those and put them with your assessing piece, that will assist you. You will have your contract assessing service in there, your abstracts and mapping, equipment maintenance, and our internet service for vision, and so on and so forth. So that,
Wait a minute, I'm not on that yet.
yeah, if you don't mind.
who's the next two computer generated sheets? They go with the second one.
Second.
How come this doesn't say at the top of assessing or something like that? So we-
Money off.
Selectman
I
Murphy,
just mind upside down.
it's just the printout that we provided you tonight. It's just, it doesn't highlight at the top.
Would you like a speech up?
Would you like to take them away from me?
Now like this,
Okay, that's gonna go.
right here.
Was that she, and then we went to assessing.
Yeah.
What's this selectmen getting here?
What is this?
That's the next one.
Well, I thought
1,500, that's what I said, that's what I said.
At least a $250 additional stipend.
So they're
Where are the
changing.
numbers right here? Like that.
see how that matched up.
Oh, okay.
Ran or went under.
Okay, now this one goes after that.
So this,
That goes there, that goes there.
Yes.
That all goes together.
I loved it. Oh, my God.
maybe it's sticky.
Okay, next, relate to the, planning department. So it'll be planning and ordinances.
Well, just a minute, here, on this one, where it says custodial services and everything. Didn't we just have one that had telephone on it for the town hall? What's the second one with the telephone?
I don't know which one you're looking at.
21180. Down the page to 21180 telephone.
You may have gotten two the same,
Now, this says, I don't know what, it says custodial services at the top and miscellaneous at the bottom.
On top of mine says full-time wages, which we,
yeah, I think she's looking at another one.
I'm looking at custodial, are they? But I'm asking a question back here. On the town hall,
you're backing up.
well, I just want to get on information on why this.
You're backing up.
I know where you are now. Yeah. Yes, we can tell you a little bit at that point what we've done with our telephone, program.
Okay.
We've changed it and we should be seeing a significant changing as a result, savings as a result of us changing our provider.
Good, then I won't have to call and go through all that whole rigmarole, listen to all that stuff and get all that music.
After we added some.
That irritates me to no end.
Okay, the next group, would be for planning, wages in, planning and ordinance. It would be, bottom line presentation on the computer sheet would give you a total of $110,471. Last year, we allocated $117,288, so you'll see a decrease in the proposal in this one. And primarily, again, if you look, some of the modifications that you will see will be under the health insurance package, simply because we have an employee now that's not taking it, so we have a savings there.
Which department is this, Pete?
This is planning and ordinances.
Is there, in a case where a person doesn't accept the health care because they may be under somebody else's
Correct.
plan, is there money set aside to make up the difference to that person?
The contract, these employees, well, with the exception of the code enforcement officer, but, the planning and assessing coordinator is a union employee, and per contract, they get $1,500 a year for not taking our insurance. 6 months for not taking it.
But you got down here, insurance for that employee, there, $360.
Right, if you could explain that,
We pay for her life insurance too.
that's part of the package. Okay? Any other questions right now on that? Okay, we'll move along to the next one, which would be Public Works. It will give you a total of $632,168, which is up almost $7,300 from the previous year, which was $624,898. And you'll have your computer-generated sheets, your first two. You should have another spreadsheet, as we've described before, of the employees and the compensation packages. And then you'll have 3 or 4 sheets that of backup information explaining which each one of those lines is used for, so you can have an idea of what it's for. And the town department head, or the engineer in this case, also put in a public works equipment CIP program, even though at this time we didn't ask for it specifically, but it's within the package. And it'll give you an idea of his thought process as we move through our equipment. We all set with that one? Okay. The next pages, the next 3 computer-generated pages will be on the police department. And the computer-generated pages, along with the wage adjustment page, will be slightly different than what the chief has made in his package, if you look at wages within that. And the only reason is that he computes it differently than the finance office. Don't ask me why, but he provides it in there, but we make the corrections, so we believe that the wages that are on this spreadsheet are accurate at this particular time. The bottom here is a increase, we're looking at earmarking $1,380,643 compared to last year, which was $1,256,657. And the reason we're high at this point is we're still uncertain on the retirement package. You'll know that if you look at the front page of your computer-generated system, you'll see that we've got anticipated just over 38.5% there on the retirement. And so as we begin to tune that down and figure out specifically what the percentages will be and what our contribution will be to that, we'll be able to fine-tune that a little bit more for you. And the other piece here, which is still uncertain, is the dispatch services. I believe when we get to the fire department, you'll see that Chief Plant looked to anticipate a 5% increase, where Chief Town has left it alone at this point. And the reason being is that, as you know, we have our dispatch services through the town of South Berwick, our general dispatch. All our 911 calls come into York dispatch and then get sent over to South Berwick for dispatching. And
But that's a roundabout way of doing things.
well, 911 is totally different than your regular dispatching. The state is looking to have a certain amount of PSAPs within the
Yeah,
state.
that's right, I remember,
Okay.
that's been going on for a number of years.
correct, and they're still working on trimming that down, but one of the things that's still uncertain within this operating budget is that dispatch, because, there's another community who is showing an interest of being dispatched through South Berwick. And if we're successful, or if South Berwick's successful in
That would cut it
getting
down.
them, that will have a reduction to our
But will they have to
dispatch.
add people on though?
No, our initial discussions, they didn't feel that they had to add, on, but
Should help it.
if they do, if they don't, we'll have 3 communities that will be spreading the total amount. So as we get further in the budget process, I'll have more information on that.
They're up 124,000.
Huh?
They're up 124,000.
Yeah, and that's 78,000 for the, you got over 20,000 just in the retirement packages. So as we get closer, we'll be able to tune that down for you.
So between the computer generated sheet and the chief's spreadsheet, there's gonna be a difference, you said?
Yeah, I would
Some reason?
ignore his wages and benefit packages, look at his background information
Okay,
that he provides to you for, training, travel, clothing, custodial services.
You don't think this is accurate, what the wages they get?
We believe ours is accurate,
But this is yours?
yes,
Yeah, okay.
okay?
Well, yeah, you should,
Okay. The next 2 computer-generated sheets that you'll come across will be for the fire service. The bottom number for fire will be $537,349 compared to the previous year of $513,347. Again, you're gonna see the same type of thing here, the retirement packages, there's an increase that we're anticipating, we're still uncertain as to what that will be. So you'll see a jump there. You'll also see a slight jump in the heat budget within this package as well. Along with, as I described earlier, he's anticipated an increase of about almost 5.5% for the dispatch. So again, we'll have some modifications there. And then you'll also get, with this one, you'll get, our spreadsheet for wages again. And then finally, behind that, there will be a bunch of explanation sheets that are provided to us by the department head, giving explanations for the budget items. There should be 8 of those.
That increase in total, it looks to me like it's somewhere in the 70 or
It's about $24,000 total, in the total water line budget.
Is that due to the safer grant?
Yes, as part of it, we're in the final, we're now assuming all of the costs for the 2 firemen that we picked up through the safety program.
And when does that take effect, if you know?
We're virtually now, right now, there will be no further, we're in the final year of the grant, so all the money is ours now. And per the contract, I believe we're obligated, I'll have to get that information, I'm sure that Chief Plant, when he's here, can explain it to you as well, but,
we have to do it this number of years.
yes, there is, because there's a penalty
Yeah,
if
and
we,
I forgot what it was, but I remember when we did that, yeah.
okay?
We have to pay all the money back.
But, we agreed to that when they did the savings.
That's correct. All right, the next one will be 2 computer-generated pieces. They'll be for your transfer station.
You haven't got the workers' name here.
No,
I have no idea how many people work down there.
we will provide that to you if you'd like to know.
I would, yeah.
Okay. refuse disposal is, $386,373. The previous year, we were at, $494,629, so we're anticipating a reduction of just over $8,000 within this budget.
What did you say?
$486,373.
Okay, I thought you said something. I thought you said different.
Oh, okay. Again, we'll provide additional information as we get to this. The contracts that we have with Waste Management will be very helpful to know what our costs are, and it will provide in here the trips and the tonnage costs that we have, as well as our recycling costs. Excuse me. The next budget you will come to will be the Recreation Department.
The vandalism costs $1,000, that's something, we have to have that.
Well, that's just to cover our deductible.
Yeah, I know it,
Okay.
the little monsters up there.
You'll have two computer-generated pieces here where you will see that the requested amount is $83,862, which is about $1,100 less than the previous year. And several years ago, we had a town meeting warrant that allowed us to use the fees that are collected within the program to help operate the program. If you look at your sheet, you'll see this year under miscellaneous on sheet 2, we're anticipating $19,500 to be collected to offset the operation of the department.
That's good.
And then within this, you'll have two sheets providing explanation on the staff as well as whatever, all the other associated costs. The next sheets, the next two computer-generated sheets will be for community and agency appropriations. It includes our various social service agencies that we provide funding to. This year, the adjusted the budget would be $65,483, which would be slightly more than the previous year.
See, this is what the county commissioners said last year, they were gonna cut out these social services.
They did quite a bit of cutting of
They
some of
cut
this.
half last year,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing this year, but they said they were gonna do it in 2 years, whether they will continue or not, who knows?
Right, we have not seen a large transformation of the cost being cut at the county level, coming back to the town.
But they cut out completely, it was my,
And it may.
because like the state lost anyone women in, Whitey, Europe, assistance from federal government. They did get, Libya trying to, they got some back, but I don't think they got it all yet.
So, and this includes the ones that we've generally funded. And in this, you'll also see that the money that we had specifically allocated last year for the Great Works Regional Land Trust, for that $10,000, we've removed it because it's not a request for it this year. So it's been removed.
Oh,
from
yeah.
it. Okay?
The American Legion, I wonder why they dropped.
Well, there was a reason for that. We sort of, you'll see a couple places where the American Legion assists us. You'll see under, find it.
But wasn't one of that they had to buy the new thing for the flags?
Right, you'll see
And
under
then
Memorial Day.
we wanted more money to do it last year.
Correct, you'll see under Memorial Day Parade, there's $1,200 there, that's to purchase the flags. And then you'll see under American Legion itself, where there's $1,500, and
Yeah.
that generally is for the Citizen Appreciation Dinner. That-
Well, I know that the last budget that we had, they increased it, so I was just wondering why.
They increased it because they had to buy, I think they're bronze, the things they put the flag in, what do they call them?
Standards,
The what?
Flag
the
holder.
standards.
Standards, yeah, the flag holders, I guess that's the word. Yeah, they had to buy too many of them because they were.
So that must have been just a one-time purchase.
Uh,
Yeah,
well,
they last
they've
for a while.
asked to keep that up at 1,200 at this
Oh,
point.
so that's under the Memorial Day,
Yes,
okay.
okay?
Oh, that was in the Memorial Day too?
Yes.
I thought that was an extra 1,000 we gave them for that.
It's Memorial Day, $1,200. That should include the flags.
I'm not talking about the flags, I'm talking about the things you put the flags in.
That's part of the whole package.
Oh, okay.
They just dropped substantially on that one line item,
That was why, we wanted to make sure that we put it in the appropriate account, and that's why there's a shift there. The next one, starts out with public fire protection at the top, and what I've done is I've checked the 4 areas that we've allocated funds for, on various ways, and, within our request through our warrant. The first one at the top is the public fire protection that's established by the PUC, and it's, it used to be called hydrant rental,
Okay.
but it's actually public fire protection as the PUC describes it.
No, I know it is hydrant.
That's a fixed cost of $182,356, and generally we have a special, a separate warrant article to address it.
But that goes to the water department, right? Or the town?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's money that.
right, that's money that's earmarked from the town that goes to the water department for the, for the hydrants and the public fire protection that's provided. The next check down, it says operation transfers out, and you'll see there's $250,000 there. That money is the money that's set aside to do our roads and infrastructure upgrades, paving, redoing roads, so on and so forth. Last year, we increased it by $50,000, went from 200 to 250. Next one is the one that we've described as contingency. It's the money that's set aside. Last year was $20,000. We've left it at 20 at this point until we hear further from you, whether or not, and that money is money that's set aside in the anticipation that there's a need. There's not a requirement, if it fits within the guidelines, not a requirement to go back to a special town meeting to allocate funding. You have some ability to do it. And finally, it's the water department debt service of $21,634 on the debt, and that hasn't changed.
Doesn't that come out of the water department though?
No, that's, No.
That's about taxation?
yes. That was part of that bond payment,
Yeah,
part of it that
for
the
the
town
bond, yeah.
was obligated to.
But that, now that's pretty close being paid off, am I right?
November.
Not this particular one, there's a larger, not this one. There's a larger one that's close to being done,
Paid, yeah, that's what
which is
I.
well over 200,000.
Yeah, I thought my memory that we were being close to the time to pay out one of them. But I will say, we do have good water now.
Okay, and the next page, it just gives you a $40,000 allocation, and that's for general assistance. Usually we lump it into one. We get from the state, and this may be one of those things that you're talking about, Selectman Murphy, where we may have to make some further adjustments, because as I understood, the governor was still looking at maybe making additional adjustments in the refunds that he would
You mean
provide.
cutting?
Yeah, the refunds that you'd be providing to the municipalities in the event of providing general assistance to the citizens. Right now, every dollar we spend out, we get half of that
Yeah,
back.
I know, but, you know, I mean, what they cut up there, they just sending back to us.
That is one that you could make that argument, yes.
Well, most of them.
The next two pages, have a bunch of, stuff on it, and I've checked the ones that, that really, relate to a, specific purpose that we've allocated funds for in the past. We've allocated in the past $69,500 for the library. Right now, I'm uncertain as to what their request will be.
We haven't done our budget.
As soon as you do,
I'm sure Bob Warren will be in.
I'm sure he will. And then on the second page, at the bottom, you'll see the capital fund that we have established last year, for the Rochester Street project. Our contribution this year of another additional $70,000 to make our total of $140,000 for that project when the state kicks it off.
I thought we'd have to vote on that again, but evidently we don't.
We did, we voted on it once.
I know it, but I thought we had to vote on
We
the other
voted,
half.
we voted to split it over
Yeah,
2 years.
I know it.
And the next three computer-generated sheets that you have are related to your functions as overseer of the water department's budget, but aren't necessarily put on your operating budget for approval by the taxpayer. These are, and so I've added it here, as well as the wage package and the explanations that the water department has provided to me.
And this is an enterprise fund.
That's correct.
This is separate.
Yep.
This is paid for by the water users.
That's correct.
I bet they miss my husband's garden, because they used to pay a lot for summer.
And that's the,
Still pay much time.
and that's the real down and dirty, review of the total numbers at this particular point. Provide you information, and, I welcome any of you at some point as we go through this. If there are other questions that need to be answered that we can't answer this evening, please let us know, and we'll provide those answers to you so you have a better understanding. I think you may want to establish some, I need direction from you, establish some dates that you'd like to sit and talk. If we can establish the dates as well as the departments that you wish to see on those times, I can get that set up, and then we can begin our process of going through and asking you questions to the department heads. So, I think, what is your pleasure at this particular point? How would you like to manage that? I have,
The only meeting I have is this Wednesday night, is a board meeting at the library.
I provided this calendar of events to you. I don't know if you all have it with you, but I did bring mine. And what I tried to do there is provide a bunch of stuff that may be associated with functions of the department, of the board as we go through. So, we have Tuesday the 10th that's available. We have Tuesday the 24th. If you want to stick with Tuesdays, off Tuesdays to talk about this. You hit a Wednesday tonight for a budget meeting. We could go Wednesdays if that works out. Just tell me what you would like to do, and we can begin the process.
I think you're off Tuesdays.
And how many budgets would you like to do every off Tuesday?
One budget a night.
You'd like to do one a night?
Yes, right, then when you're doing 2 or 3, you just aren't asking a lot of questions, you won't give them the time that they deserve.
Okay.
We could
That's my
probably
opinion.
combine a couple of the smaller ones.
Yeah, you
But
could probably.
we've got, what, 4 big ones?
Yeah, your large functions, your public safety budgets, your public works, your transfer station, those are probably budgets that would warrant an independent review. Which ones would you like to start with, if we're gonna
But we
pick on
already have
Tuesday?
one, don't we? So we have this, the police department budget.
Well, that was part of his package that he provided to you, it's part of your whole package that
Right.
you had tonight.
It would appear to me pretty well prepared.
Isn't that the budget he's gonna present to us? Yep. Oh, well, okay.
Do you wanna do the,
I would suggest that one.
first to start with the PD?
Fine, with me, I don't give a
Right, do you wanna
shit.
go on 6:30 on Tuesday the 10th?
Fine.
What day?
January 10th.
Tuesday the January 10th, Thursday the 10th, is that okay?
6:30?
You looking at the right calendar? I didn't give you a new one, so.
I know, you're cheap.
6:30, Keith?
Yes,
Keith, I need to ask you a question. If the social services, is Table of Plenty still on there, or do we have to do a letter every year?
it's still there,
Okay. For the same amount?
yes, unless I hear different.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, are we all set with that? Do you wanna just do the 10th, and then after that evening, we'll set the next one, and we'll know which department you'd like to have come in?
They've all been warned to prepare the budgets, I would assume,
Right,
so.
And you know, we might wanna meet with a bigger one even again after the first time.
That's possible. I mean, if we find some areas that we think that should be altered in some fashion,
certainly wanna have those discussions.
I really strongly feel that we should go with a single budget per meeting.
That's fine. We'll have the chief here on Tuesday the 10th, and we'll begin with the police budget. At the same time, we will, the finance office will do a better sheet for you, a report which will have the actual cost that we've already spent this year, as well as last year's actual cost, and then what we're anticipating this year. So it'll give you a better review of that. We'll provide that to you the evening of, well, I'll provide it before your meeting, so you have a chance to
Yeah,
add
we
it
could
back.
kinda, be able to sit down and kinda think about it,
Sure.
study it. Some of us are kinda slow, you know, we have to really give it some thought.
Are we all set? Anything else?
Anything else? Marcia? Okay. Anybody from the audience got anything to add?
I'd like to make a statement.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I read in the paper that you're doing this budget a month early. Is that true?
You wish me to answer it?
That was in the paper anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, yes, sir. We've generally started, roughly about a month before, I normally would present a budget to the board.
Is there a reason for that?
They asked me to get started early, and they asked me to provide that information to you this night.
Seems like every year comes
And we
around.
asked that last
Is that because there's a vote for 13th?
No,
I don't,
No, we asked for it last
Because-
year even.
it
Because
doesn't,
my opinion, and listening to people around town, with the 3 board members we have on there, no matter what you come up with a budget, the trust that they have in them is null, so they're not gonna vote for it anyway.
that's certainly their prerogative, but
You know,
that's not the
so it
reason
seems to
why.
me
we
a waste
started.
of time, they're starting a month early.
Well, I think it's gonna give us time to go through that budget and kind of just what's in it.
Yes, but Eleanor,
And we
with
can always go back to it and change it.
with the distrust that the town has in the 3 board members we have now, no matter what you come up with, I think it'll be voted down,
Well, that's possible.
no matter what.
We'll just revert back to last year's budget.
Mr. Curry?
Ken Poirier, live on Old Sanford Road. Those 5 people, starting right here with Mr. Creighton, Mr. Ramsey, Murphy, Chambers, and Elker, still members of the Board of Selectmen of the Town of Berwick. We've got to give them, we might vote them out, but right now they're members of that board and they've got to do the best they can with the budget.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm not gonna do a thing to hold them up. If you ain't never dealt with a budget, and I have, it's terrible.
You know, we gotta start working on the budget, really. In fact, I mean, when I was on the board, we always started back earlier. We always started back in November, December on to start getting the budgets together and giving them some thought. So I was kind of surprised when they did it so late, but.
I don't believe the budget is cast in stone until it's time to present it as a warrant article.
And we have to
Oh,
have a public hearing.
I agree with you,
We have to have a public hearing on it.
but you can put it on a warrant article. If town people do not trust the board, they're not gonna vote for it no matter what kind of budget you come up with. So it seems like a waste of time.
That's the privilege of the townspeople.
Correct.
Hopefully, we're gonna come up with a common sense budget. Yeah, I'd say hopefully. I'm not saying we will, I'm saying hopefully.
Any other comments, real quick? Okay.
Well, you spoke your piece, I got a chance to speak mine.
Okay.
Hey, we have different
comment?
opinions, but I ain't gonna stop you from saying you're right.
If no other comment, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Jeanette's got a hand up.
Okay, Jeanette.
Thank you, Jim. Jeanette LeMay. Will you be doing two different scenarios or other scenarios? Like, basically what I do with mine is I do a, plus any COLA increases or contract increases and a zero budget balance at this, where we are as a country right now. Will you be doing those kind of comparisons to see what the effect would be?
Zero base budget?
I do
You
one,
start-
yes.
You start with nothing, with zero, and work up a new budget?
No, basically what you do is, say your budget is $100 this year, you stay at $100, including those
Oh, okay.
contractual
No, yeah, no,
increases. So I was wondering if you were gonna do some kind of comparison with that and take a look at what kind of effects that would be. I've heard a lot of squawking about the $1.50 increase, so
Well,
I
think
just
some
thought
of
it might
us,
be a good idea to.
I think, I don't know about, I don't speak anything else as myself, but I think in my mind, I've got a percentage and that, and it's got, and I won't go over it.
Okay, thank you,
To
Ellen.
answer your question at this point, no.
Okay, thanks, Jen.
Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
All in favor? Thank you. Thank you, Janet and Steve, by the way.
Now, wait a minute, that